not like you're an individual. So companies change personnel.
This is a match made in heaven.
La risa loca. Mira eso. Rafael no me posta.
You remember him? Remember we went out to Guadalajara for dinner with
Put him in Thomas and Mack and have Steve and Sheldon support. I mean, Steve and Sheldon are the guys who make the money in this business.
Terrence Crawford. We talk about him a little bit.
Well, he's terrific. He's a great fighter, great success story. He won the fight conclusively. He's the lightweight champion, and this summer he'll be defending his title in Omaha.
That's what he just said. He wanted to fight. You mentioned that, probably 6-7 months ago.
Yeah, right.
Any opponents you have in mind?
Well, let's see what happens Saturday night.
It's an eliminator, right?
Yeah, let's see what happens Saturday night, because I would like the winner of that fight to go. And I know I guess he knows that the Council Bluffs, Iowa, is 3 minutes from downtown Omaha, and that's where the casinos are and so forth. So the fight might not be held in Omaha, but it would be in Council Bluffs, which is like the same thing.
Well, obviously, you're very mad with all this stuff.
I'm not mad. It amuses me. It amuses me that people who are charged with running a big company like that, like this, act like horses' asses. That's what amuses me.
That means that in the future,
I told them, companies are companies. Companies are made up of individuals who have different jobs. Those people can change, right? So you don't say, I'll never do business with MGM. Hey, MGM a year from now may be different from the MGM we have today.
You just said a year from now. What if it doesn't change?
Well, again, then you have to take that into account.
Has anyone reached out to you from the MGM to apologize or make amends?
No, they don't apologize. You understand? People who have these corporate positions don't apologize. They hide, but they don't apologize. People dealing if like a manager and I go sideways, he may apologize to me, I apologize to him. There's a human dynamic. With corporations, there generally isn't a human dynamic.
what do you think will be the impact, the economic impact of all of this on Saturday night?
What do you mean impact?
The impact in promotions and
I don't
ticket sales?
Ticket sales not going to affect very much. Will be sold out or may sell. What is the, so then you say, well, why, Bob, are you making the problem? Are you angry because Mayweather's picture is, the answer is no. What I'm angry about and what concerns me is Tecate spends millions of dollars to promote these fights, gives money to the MGM, which the MGM isn't going to get, and the executives from Tecate come in, and most of the signs are for Mayweather's fight, sponsored by Corona. If they had Floyd Mayweather's picture on the seats of the chairs, I wouldn't give a shit. It's the fact that there's economic, or HBO goes through all this great length and work and so forth, putting on this fight on pay-per-view, HBO, and all they see around here is Showtime signs? Give me a fucking break. Or tell me that going in.
Bob, does it affect cards that you were thinking about having here at the MGM in the future?
I wasn't thinking about having any cards here.
Well, I know you weren't too happy with how they did the Grand Arrival either for this fight.
What's wrong? I don't know. I didn't see anything wrong with the Grand Arrival.
Oh, as opposed to how the Venetian does it in Macau. The process.
Oh, no,
of it.
no, no, no. That, they did the grand arrival here the way all the grand arrivals have been for the last 10 or 20 years. What I was pointing out is the grand arrivals which they do in Macau, they do completely differently. Flowers, but that's the style, you know.
Yeah.
That you know, they want to do it Las Vegas style, and I wasn't complaining about that.
Thanks, Bob.
Do you think that the Wing Group has an advantage for the future?
Listen, look, there are two companies which are the leading companies, American companies in gaming. And it's for a reason, because they're smarter than these guys and they know what they're doing. First is the Venetian, Sands Company, Sheldon's company, and then there is the Wynn. Pick up a paper and look at the stock and where the stock of each company is going in the last 2 years, and then tell me who has smarter people. Is it luck? I don't think so. If one company is making so much more than other companies and doesn't have financial problems because they borrow too much money, it's not luck. It's because they're smarter and they conduct themselves better. This company really has a serious management problem. Serious.
Now, Bob, I know you mentioned that none of them came to you to talk about the issue, but have you gone to them and expressed your views outside of what you've said so far in private?
One of the things that gets me, first of all, before we made the deal, Todd talked to Hornbuckle. We have an email from Hornbuckle, which they've since violated. That's part of the contract. And then I don't talk to them because I don't believe anything they say. So Todd talks to them. And one call, particularly, I was in a car, he was talking to Hornbuckle on the phone, and Hornbuckle said every right thing. And then, you know something? Nothing the fuck happened. It's like a jerk. It's like a jerk off, you know? If that's the way they want to act, that's fine. And you know, and Sturm, who's been here for so many years, should know better. And Sturm can't say that, well, I did it, I made a mistake. His own people argued with him that what you're doing is not correct. His own people. We know the people, and if there's a lawsuit, it'll come out of the meeting, who told him what he was doing is incorrect. And if he had guts and courage of his convictions, wouldn't he talk to you guys? I mean, why leave the stage to me? How many guys have talked to you? Why doesn't he pick up the phone and talk to Steve Karp, who's the local reporter? Well, you don't talk if you got something to hide. Now, I think I know what happened. But I'm not sure. So it's bad for me to say. But what I really believe, but without knowing,
Just speculation.
is they screwed around that they would go to Barclay, which they never, because of the taxes, all bullshit. And these guys fell for it. And part of what they said was, yeah, but put our signs up all over, you know, when the Pacquiao, and I'm sure we're going to discover that. And so fuck the contract you have with Arum, fuck that. We're going to do it because we don't want him to go to Barclay. You're going to see that. Now, do I know that for sure? No, I don't. But that's what I smell.
Does that mean you're
I
going to
remember
take
a few
Vegas
years
fights
ago,
to...
they were almost like pleading to have you back after you took Manny to Cowboy Stadium for 2 fights.
They courted us to come back here for this fight. They courted us to come back because we had an alternative. Even if we wanted to keep this fight in Las Vegas, the Thomas and Mack was available and Steve would have backed it, and Sheldon.
Is that where you have your Vegas fights from now on, most likely? Thomas and Mack?
Yeah, absolutely. And I really hope that Steve and Sheldon build their own beautiful arena, which they've talked about, because other people would have opportunity to operate out of a state-of-the-art arena.
Thanks, Bob.
But I'm sorry you don't have lunch.